What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and once again I'm here with...
Gershwin.
And once again we're answering your questions, because once again, this is, once again, for the greater...
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question, because we'll get those questions first.
Once again, let's start with this character.
What character?
The one you're about to read.
Oh, Nunchuck Swordfish. How do Dark Eldar preserve their souls? Are they any books on Dark Eldar besides the Path series? So the first question, how do they preserve their souls? They actually try to live forever. They don't want to die. A Dark Eldar does not have a spirit stone. Once he dies, his body is basically absorbed by Slaanesh. So they're trying to create as much pain and misery so they just continue to feed on that pain and misery and live forever. Mm-hmm. Which is why the skin and the body of most
Dark Eldar.
Dark Eldar is supposed to be like disgusting because they've lived for a very, very long time, long past the time that a normal Eldar should be alive. So
yeah. The Drukhari are some sick mofos.
They are, yeah.
All the lore that I've read about them is just like, yeah. It's like, yeah, they... I don't know how our buddy plays them.
I know.
But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Next question comes from PB Unit. Why doesn't every Space Marine wear Terminator armor? Because there's not enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Terminator armor is supposed to be really rare, but also very slow and cumbersome in exchange for like a really sturdy, strong amount of firepower.
Yeah, I think we have a misconception of like what military gear is like nowadays because there isn't like an epic, huge war. Whereas like if you look at the olden days, there's people that required, or like armies required a certain level for equipment, and sometimes that level was not met, but war would continue. So they're kind of left like, well.
That's why we saw so many casualties during like World War II, and why so many companies had to shut down and focus on creating steel or leather and that kind of stuff, because the supplies, they just weren't there.
Yep.
Yeah, you'd be lucky if they gave you a shovel.
Exactly.
And like rations and all that.
Next question comes from Marky00. Which Primarch would win in an arm wrestling contest?
Probably Alfarius or Omegon, because it'd be a 2-against-1 fight.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
One would hold the hand like this, and the other one would be pushing.
Mm-hmm. This one's by Lil Vamp Ire. If titties didn't have the shadow and the warp, how much could they influence the Chaos Gods?
I mean, titties can influence anybody.
Nitties.
Oh.
Nitties, like titties. I might have said that. That's interesting, because like the shadow of the warp. I would say corn, because like, but at the same time they just eat.
Yeah, that's difficult.
Yeah.
All I have in my mind is titties now, so I can't even concentrate.
So Slaanesh, that's our answer.
Yeah. Next question comes from DStonk333. Could the Chaos Gods and any other god like Gork and Mork be old ones and be stuck in the warp? Isha. That's my theory.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense, because rumor has it that the Eldar pantheon of gods are actually just old ones. So Isha's been known to be held captive by Nurgle, using her as basically a test. Does this plague do this? How does this plague make this type of person react? And then after that happens, Isha whispers the cure to the sentient life in the galaxy.
For sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Usher.
Next question comes from Billy Davis III. Who is smarter, Magnus or Perturabo? I think you're dealing with two types of intelligences. Mm-hmm. Magnus would be like a scholar, somebody that works at the field museum, and then Perturabo would be like a mechanic that has been working on cars for like years and years and years.
Yeah, it's like you got street smarts against book smarts.
Yeah, so I mean, one is Scotty Kilmer, and the other one is Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, But it is crazy though how freaking Perturabo just instinctively knows like how something works.
Yeah.
Like he looks at that 3D printer and it's like, oh, filament, plastic,
dust. Yep.
Casper C. Would you guys ever do a lore video as to how you became friends? Well, that's implying we're friends.
Exactly. We're not. We're cousins.
Are we? Brother cousins?
Brother cousins. I don't know what that means.
Elliot Figuera. How do you remove paint from models when the drugstore sold out of rubbing alcohol because everyone hoarded it all?
Never have I ever used rubbing alcohol to get my paint off of my minis. That's kind of expensive and not the best use of alcohol. You should just chug it. No, but like what I do is I usually use here in the U.S. we have this thing called Simple Green, and you're supposed to spray it on like. Actually, I don't know what it's supposed to. I use it for laundry. I think it's supposed to be for laundry, but I also just like put it in like a mason jar, put the minis in there, seal up the mason jar, come back like a week later, and they just kind of peel off with a toothbrush. So yeah, any type of detergent or any type of like cleaning material that's supposed to get scum or stains out would work.
I'm surprised how that doesn't eat away the glue.
It does, but that's a positive, because that's another thing too, that like when these minis break apart, then it's easier for you to paint them because now they're not all glued together.
Yeah.
Surprised it doesn't eat the plastic.
Yeah, because like you leave it there for a week. I'm like, damn, you still have a mini after that?
Next question.
Nunchuck Swordfish. Where's the best place to start for orc novels? Also, what's your favorite orc novel and why?
I mean, The Beast Arises, I think, is probably the best one.
Yeah.
I haven't finished it, but spoiler alert, he dies.
The Beast? Like in Beauty and the Beast?
Mm-hmm.
But he becomes something else when he dies, right?
Yeah, a spore. A set of spores.
And we all know what spores are.
Sperm?
Mm-hmm.
Next question comes from Defool06. Who is the richest or top 5 richest characters within the Imperium?
You gotta describe what do you mean by rich? Like rich in personality, monetary riches,
Power, prestige.
Yeah.
I would have to say that probably the High Lords.
Yeah.
And specifically, like it would be the High Lord Admiral, I think it's called. So like the main person in charge of all of the Imperial Navy. And then there's the leader of the Novice Nobilite. So like the main navigator guy. He also he could also oversee astropaths and all that kind of stuff. And then, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, because I was thinking of like the Ultramarine sector. Whoever's in charge of all that should be really powerful because like
Gilliman.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't feel like Gilliman's like rich. GW.
The head of the ecclesiarchy, I forget his name.
Jeff Bezos.
It's apostate cardinal. No, so it might be a cardinal. No, what's above a cardinal? The Pope.
Space Pope.
The Space Pope.
This next one is by Cesar Miguel. So I'm a beginner on this whole thing, but my first question is, what would it be, or what would the steps be to create lore for one of the lost Primarchs in a loyalist fashion, since it's been eliminated from all records? You, my friend, are the perfect example of somebody who should check out the, how did you title it?
Oh, the chapter one?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just how to create your own homebrew chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good. Because the difficult part with Primarchs is that you do hit on an important note, and that is that like they're supposed to be erased.
Mm-hmm.
I think what you should do is you just try to learn as much as you can about the Horus Heresy, and then start from the beginning. So like, pick the big points. Like during the Lost Primarchs weren't even there for the Horus Heresy though, right?
They were there for a little bit, and depending, because what did you say, second? Well, depending on if it's the second or the 11th, you actually had some interaction with some of the Primarchs, depending on the order that were found. So, like for example, like Alfarius and Omegon supposedly were the last Primarch to be found. So they, quote unquote, shouldn't know about the 2nd and the 11th because they weren't found yet.
Right.
But again, it's all in quotes because you never know.
Right. And I think they would be suspicious and be like, wait, so it goes from 1
To 3?
Yeah, I think that's the best thing. But also just, yeah, I guess kind of like how I created the chapters. It's really important just to figure out how you want it to specialize.
Mm-hmm. I actually went back to your video and was like repurposing my chapter based on your
The video.
steps. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I never really thought about this.
The Inquisition one, I think, is the one that you could probably have the most fun with.
Mm-hmm. The Inquisition is fun.
Yeah.
Not just that, but I feel like Imperial Guard would also be really cool to play.
Yeah.
Your own like homebrew Imperial Guard regiment.
I just did the 40 facts on the loyalist version of the Emperor's Children, and I found out that the Emperor's Children actually were like captains of Imperial Guard regiments. So that would be really cool to bring back. Like if you were one of the Lost Primarchs, but that Lost Primarch actually had his Space Marines not have units, but have regiments. So it'd be an entire, like, 30-man infantry, Imperial
Squad.
Guard or whatever, and led by one Space Marine. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Again, you also got to look at the way, because nowadays it's all chapter based. Back in the Horace, it was all Legion, so you had tons more Space Marines to play around with.
Yeah, even in the 30K game, the tabletop game, I think the minimum is 30.
Yeah, you could have like 30-man squads of Space Marines.
Something outrageous like that.
Yeah. Is that viable? Maybe.
It was back then.
Mm-hmm.
This one comes from Gunness. Approximately how many lesser and greater demons can a Chaos God conjure in total before his power runs out? Millions, billions, trillions, unlimited? Probably 37.
Yeah. It's just you never really see it as 37 because, like, usually an artist can only draw about 37 in that portrait.
Exactly, yep. But no, that number, like, there is no...
Yeah, it seems to be limitless because at this point the Chaos Gods, the major ones at least, are so astronomically powerful that it just seems like it's limitless.
Mm-hmm. Next question comes from Varonis Pulo. Can or do you guys have a video on traitors from loyalist legions and vice versa? Yes, I have loyalists for traitors, not so much
Traitors for loyalists, because that doesn't really happen.
No.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, right. It's either the entire chapter gets turned or that one person dies.
Right.
Like the soul drinkers. You should check out our 40 facts on the soul drinkers.
I was going to spoil it, but I'm not.
Spider people.
Spoiler alert, they drink souls.
Next question.
This one is by Joey Gogwin. Why doesn't GW produce more Imperial Guard regiment types instead of just having mainly the Catachans, the Cadians, and the Kriegs? They used to have like sprues where you could change them up to like, what was it, like Kasserkins, the Vostroyans.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of that went to Forge World, and then Forge World like stopped.
The other thing too is that Games Workshop probably saw that people are just kit bashing.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you really want to make your own regiment and make it special, GW benefits more from a person who goes and has to buy an Imperial Guard kit and then has to buy something from Age of Sigmar, then has to buy something from Lord of the Rings, and in order to like create the mini that they're trying to create, which isn't bad. I think that's really awesome. The kit bash culture on Instagram is freaking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely follow them if you want to create your own regiment. So just like kit bash, I think the hashtag is just follow that.
Yeah. But yeah, you basically hit the nail on the head. Financially, it doesn't make sense to produce a bunch of sprues of a bunch of different stuff when the fan base isn't there.
Yeah. Freaking Kyle. Only Kyle does that stuff. Next question.
Mad Manlet. If you had to date a Primarch, who would it be and why would it be Sanguinius? That's actually my second choice. First would have to be Fulgrim.
Why?
Because he's, in my opinion, he's more elegant and tasteful than Sanguinius.
But he's a traitor now. He has a snake tail.
That just adds more to his personality.
So if you had to choose between top half woman, bottom half snake, you would go
Top half woman.
Okay.
Because, like, the snake is just another plus.
So you would never do top half snake, bottom half woman?
No, there's fangs.
Yeah, but
And that little, like, tongue.
that might feel good.
But it's like, well, people split their tongues for a reason, right?
Yeah. Is it that reason, though?
Maybe.
Let us know in the comment section below if you have a split tongue. Did you do it for Slaneshi purposes or just aesthetic purposes?
Let us know ASAP.
ASAP. Next question. This one comes from Jamie Sanderson.
Jaime Sanderson?
Jaime. If orcs are made of fungus, could the Imperium develop a powerful fungicide to kill them? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've tried. They probably haven't discovered it because it was the old ones that created them, and the old ones were like supreme to the level of 1,000.
That's a big level.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously, like a human technological advancement would probably not trump a
Trump.
yeah, a thing. And you scared me.
You scared me.
Next question.
The Fool 06. Does the Emperor use gene seed when he created the Thunder Warriors? Who is the gene sire of the Thunder Warriors?
I don't believe he did, no.
No. He just kind of put some sugar, some spice, everything nice, and Chemical X, and he made them.
Yeah.
Chemical X was not gene seed.
He's probably doing like organs, like experimenting with organs, but there was no progenoid gland yet.
But there were pituitary glands.
Definitely 2 pituitary glands.
2 of them?
2.
Nice.
Next question. Damn, I'm hungry. My stomach is feeling weird now. That's not the name. That's just me saying that.
That was his name. I'm like, that is a great name. I'm surprised that all fit.
Ursa Swan. Are there any types of creatures inside 40k wormholes? I don't think so. There is one specific type of worm-like creature, but it's not to the size of a wormhole.
Is it like Mi Wing Penguin?
It was kind of like that, but less fur. And then there's also the void whales.
Yes.
But they kind of just float around. They don't actually inhabit a hole. That is not to say you can't stick it in a hole, but because where there's a hole,
there's a way.
Yeah.
The Fool 06. So technology is supposed to get smaller as it improves, right? So Primaris are the better Astartes. Everything about them is bigger, though. Bigger physique, bigger armor, bigger weapons, bigger vehicles, and so on. So is there anything about the Primaris that got smaller than regular Space Marines and it's still considered an improvement?
Yeah, I think you're leading to the member size. The member size of a Primaris is a lot smaller, but it's curved up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's so instead of just doing this, it does this. And for all those that know about, the things you need to know about, you know why that's beneficial. Size doesn't matter. The curve matters.
Is that why everybody's trying to flatten the curve nowadays?
Exactly. Well, no, they want to... I don't think they would want to flatten the curve. Oh, they want to flatten a certain curve, yeah.
That's why I watched Curb Your Enthusiasm on HGTV.
On HGTV, yes.
Is that still a thing?
HGTV, yeah.
I don't know. I haven't had cable in so long.
Yeah, me too. They should have a Warhammer 40K network. Oh, it's called Warhammer TV. Never mind. Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool if like Games Workshop created an entire like, because you know how like the gun people have their own like gun.
The gun people
channel. Yeah.
What kind of humans are those? Like, how did they evolve?
Like the NRA and like they created their own little like gun thingy. GW should do that with like all of us like content creators and just put us on a channel and then stream us.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Even though that's what we're doing now, right?
Right? That's what YouTube is.
So YouTube did it for us.
It's like One Mind Syndicate. You're gonna be a cooking channel.
That'd be fun. Cooking with us.
Mm-hmm. Now we should have James Charles join us.
James Charles is the man.
That sentence right there.
Next question.
Will Higgins. What if Lorgar was right and the Emperor really did want to be worshipped like a god?
He did it.
Yeah, I mean, it's happening now.
And you can see that too because of the time effect, the time warping effects of the warp. So the Emperor had a talk with the Chaos Gods. It could have been a situation where like the Chaos God said, you have to play hard and act like you don't want to be worshipped, but your son eventually will, force the worship of you. But it has to be in this specific way in order for this to work and you to become a god like us.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the Chaos Gods just wanted to have an extra friend to play with. And they had to like destroy the entire galaxy for it.
Pretty much, yeah. That'd be interesting to see like the traitors actually be the good guys and the loyalists be the unknowing bad guys.
Yeah. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, comment down below. Thank you guys so much for listening. We hope your painting is going well. And yeah.
Yeah. Sound Alchemist.
Curse one.
And we are out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.